Hi everybody, my name is Shayla and I'm going to walk you through the Cash Cow Farmer summary page. This is the page you get to once you've filled out your price list and each field. As you can see here, I've got 6 corn fields and 6 soybean fields. It's going to organize it by crop here. What I'm going to do is go through each column and help you understand what they all mean. So first we start with the name. Farmers have ridiculous names for their fields. Here we have L-shape, south of the shop, school, zip, CL18WH. You enter these in. So these are your code names for your family farms fields. So that's whatever you want. Type of crop here, like I said before, it's organized by each crop. You've got planted acres. These are just the acres that you've planted. This is not actual acres for the field. So this is not accounting the wet spots or any acres that you didn't plant for some reason. Then we've got input costs here. Input costs, we can organize these little arrows are a good organization tool. And we can organize it lowest to high or high to low. We're going to start with what had the highest input costs, which is south of the shop. If we're like, oh, geez, why did south of the shop cost so much? We can expand it and really analyze what those costs are. So we've got operating costs, which are divided by the whole farm, so they're going to be consistent. Overhead costs. This is the highest of all of them. So that's going to be what's driving that price up. And south of the shop is rented land. So that's why that overhead cost is so high. Then we've got custom application rates, pretty consistent with the rest. Seed, pretty low actually. Fertilizer, one of the higher ones. And then chemical, which is pretty standard. So the overhead and the fertilizer costs are what is driving that overhead or that input cost up so high. So maybe we consider A, not renting the land next year if we're not making any money on it, or B, trying out different fertilizers. But as long as we're making money on the field, it makes sense to farm it, even if the input costs are high. Then we've got expected yields here. So expected yields, when you're starting your marketing plan, it's going to be a projection. So it's going to be your APH or your insurance or something to project your yield. So if you're making a marketing plan right now, it's December 2014. For your marketing plan for 2015, you're going to put in your APHs. If we are going back and editing our 2014 marketing plan, we're going to put our actual yields that we got so that when we go back in these histories, we can know that these are accurate yields. Then we've got break even. Break even is going to take the input costs and the expected yields to come up with a break even per field. We can sort these as well. See that school 40 is the highest break even. CL18WH has the lowest break even. Right next to the break even is the cash price. Cash price is determined by the Chicago market, which is at 405 right now, and the basis. The basis is you are entering that in manually right here because it's going to vary by wherever you are. So that difference is going to be the cash price. Then we move on to the profit. We'll sort that as well. So we're making the most money on CL18WH. We've got the break-even price right next to the cash price. We see that there's obviously a difference. The cash price is higher than what we are putting into that field. But our profit's not only considering our break-even and our cash price, but it's also considering the contracts that we've made for 2014. So if we've already sold half of our crop, that's going to be at the price that we sold at, and the other half is going to be taking into consider this cash price. So for an example, when we sort it and we see that this is the lowest profit, we paid more for this field than the cash price is right now, but we're still making a profit. That's because we've already contracted out some of our grain. The last column is Progressive Ag, which is a marketing advising company out of Fargo, and this is what they hedged their customers at this year, 504. The last thing that I want to show you is the view cost per field. So when we click that, these prices change. It's a little minute change, but if you look at the data, you can see that it changes. This is going to give you your actual dollars for what you spent on the field, not per acre, but actual dollars per field. So we see, if we expand out this input cost, we can see, let's see, CL18WH, we spent the most on sealed, and School 40, we spent the least on field. It's pretty consistent with these planted acres. So obviously if you've got more acres to plant, you're going to be buying more seed. And then we also have the combined. So this is going to total up all of our corn, average out our break even, and total up our profit. And that's also going to do the same thing here with soybean. Everything I just explained with corn happens on the soybean as well. And then we've got two combined here. One is for the total of soybean. The other is for your entire farm. Doesn't matter if it's corn seed or a cornfield, a soybean field. It's going to be the total planted acres, total how much you spent on inputs, your total expected yields, your average break even, and then your total profit. That is the summary page, and that is all of the details and how you can use these tools to analyze your farm and make management decisions and marketing decisions. Without knowing your break even, you really have no goal or no level that you need to sell your crop over. So if our break even here is 380, we're going to hope that we get over 380 when we sell. Or for this one, 250. If you have any more questions about this, please contact me. My email is shayla, SHAYLA, @cashcowfarmer.com. Thank you for watching.